Welcome back, creative friends, to another edition of Technique Tuesday. So Technique Tuesday happens every other month on the even months, and Mixed Media Basics happen on the odd months. So this month we are going to be doing a technique it's out there. People are doing it. Everyone has a different take on it. So this time we're going to I've kind of not done it because I was, it's out there so much, but I don't know that everyone is getting an opportunity to see it, and no one's seen it the way I do it. So I thought this would be a good technique to say, because it helps you get rid of your scrappy bits. And the way I do it, it also tackles some under paper that maybe has places that have potential, but just aren't all that. So I'm going to actually link up in the corner to Louisa Heinzel's. She has a different version of this. If I can find anybody else's that I've seen, I will link them down below, others that are doing something similar to this. So basically what you're doing is you're taking all your uninteresting leftover scrappy bits and giving them some pizzazz. And so my basket just is not dwindling, and there's things in here I keep pushing to the side. So I think that I'm going to be pulling those things out. That is kind of interesting, but that isn't, so I'm just gonna start pulling these out. I'm gonna speed it up and lay them out all over my table. Now you do want to really protect your table. Doing this is too big to really do in a spray box if you've made yourself one, or if you've bought in a spray box. I just took a box, an old box. I cut it, I closed it all up and taped it all off on all the edges. And then I just cut it down and created like a little hooded spray area. So it's my spray box, but this is too small to do what we're doing. So you want to really protect your space. And if you don't like getting stuff on your hands, then you might want to put some gloves on as well. So put aside your spray box, prep your area, and then what we're going to do is we're going to start pulling out scrappy bits. But first, I am actually going to start ripping this under paper down and use some of the uninteresting parts to then do this technique on. So this is pretty interesting, except for the edges are not. So this I'm going to put aside and put it with all my under papers that are ready to be used. And these I will include in this session of Scrappy Bit remake or makeover. So I'm going to speed it up now, and if I think of something, I will of course talk over. The fun thing about these paper doilies is when you spray onto them, it goes through the holes and makes that neat pattern. So they're a lot of fun to do this with. So if they're kind of like, a stencil inside of a scrappy bit. So it's a lot of fun. So if you've got some things like that, this is a good time to use that. Or even fabric that you want to lay over the top and you don't mind getting all saturated in different stuff. Okay, so this is laid out over my whole table. I tried not to get too close to the edge here. And so now I'm gonna start off with my first layer. I don't always start with distress sprays, but after watching Luisa's video, I thought maybe that's a good thing, because usually I use my Marabou sprays when I'm doing this. So this time I'm going to use a handful of Distress Oxides and a Distress stain. So I'm going to use old paper and peeled paint in the Distress Oxides along with scattered straw. And then I'm going to, actually I'm going to start with some peeled paint and just the Distress spray. And that's where I'm going to get started. And then after that, I am going to come in with some of my Marabous afterwards. I like how they react together too. So that could be fun. Okay, so now I'm going to let this dry. Now, if you were to go in with a craft heating tool or even a blow dryer, this is going to go everywhere. I'm in Arizona, so it doesn't take too long to let this dry, but I am going to let this air dry. Before I come in with the Marabous, I am going to come in with some water and sprinkle some water on here and then pull up with a cloth. So that's my next step, but first I'm going to let this dry. Okay, it's not totally dry. I still have a little bit that's wet right here, but I'm tired of waiting. Little patience. So I'm going to come in with my mister. I'm also going to put a little bit on my hand so I can get some bigger splats, because this is such a fine mister. And so I can get some nice big watermarks. All right, and then I'm gonna come in with, this is just like a shop towel, a blue shop towel, and I'm going to just lift up some of where that water was. And you can see there's some of the, because it's water soluble, it will lift up. So what I'm going to do is now we're going to do a little fruit salad. Yes, from the Wiggles. We're going to fruit salad it and mix it. We're going to mix it up. And then resort it back out, but not as methodically as I did the first time. Just kind of get it spread so every paper has a chance of greatness. Okay. And now I think I'm gonna place some of these back because they are fun. So now I'm gonna come in with some Marabou, and I'm gonna come in with this red orange. I really love this. It's really bright. It's kind of counterintuitive to the distress stuff, which is, well, some of those are bright too. I just didn't choose any of the bright ones. And these are not water soluble. And apparently my sprayer is gone. So, but while they're wet, they will react. So I am going to get some sprinkles down. And then I'm going to come in with my sprayer again. You see how they're reacting with the Distress Oxides? I kind of do this neat thing here. And now that it has a little water on it, I'm going to go back again. I'm going to come in with some Lindy's. All right, so this is going to need to dry completely, which might be a little bit longer than the last one was. We'll see. It's winter here right now, and so, you know, February is cold and dry, so we'll see how it goes. All right, these aren't totally dry, but they're dry enough, so I'm going to mix them up again. I am going to come in with some stencils and spray paint. Both of them are by Elizabeth St. Hilaire. One is Starry Spirals. It's a mask. Actually, these are both masks. And one is Cubes. And I am coming in with some Liquitex spray paint. I have Naples Yellow and Parchment. Generally, this paint dries really quickly. So I'm just going to go ahead and shake everything up a bit. Okay, so now I'm going to come back in with some stamps. I'm going to use all my paper artsy, and I am going to use my archival inks. Now I'm going to use my Marabou art spray in the gold. You have to really shake these up really well. And when you first put it down, it looks kind of creamy, not real metallic. But when it dries, as it starts to dry, you'll start to see the metallic of it. And they're just simply gorgeous. All right, now I'm going to let this dry, and then I'm going to come back through and sort out those pieces that feel done to me and those that just need a little bit more pizzazz. And then I'm going to kind of go in and start to rework those. So I'm going to come in with some altering sprays, different colors of sprays in the Distress line. And to tie it all back together, I'm going to come in with the Lindy's Moon Shadow again. Hopefully you agree with me, these have much more pizzazz than they did originally. Now I'm just going to end up putting these back into my Scrappy Bits basket, and now with the pizzazz that's on them, hopefully I'll be reaching for them more often than not. The nice thing is, like, the added bonus is that some of these have the distress inks on them, which will reconstitute because they are water soluble when I'm doing other pieces of art, so there'll be little bits of surprises here and there.